coming into the last track. Tall Poppies Never Die. But it says bonus. Did you mean to have this on, or was it like, yeah, why is it a bonus track?
I added this way late in the piece because I thought I was only allowed to have a certain number of tracks on the EP.
Right.
And I wrote this after I submitted all the final masters because I was like going through some shit. I went to do a studio session with Jay Orient, who produces a lot of JK47 stuff. Yeah. And I was like feeling a way about a lot of shit, pretty depressed. And I was like, man, like I got to go see Jay and just like let it out. Hey, so I went and saw him and we whipped this up in like 3 or 4 hours. And then like I walked out of there feeling like a whole world better than how I walked in, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So this one's really like some therapy and also a throwback to some boom bap steez that a lot of people have been asking for a long time, you know? And when I found out, like when I showed it to the homies, they were like, bro, this should be on the EP. And I was like, well, I don't know if I can chuck it on. So I checked with, you know, the team and they were like, nah, you can chuck it on as a bonus. So that's what I did. And yeah, I think this one's for people that have been riding with it for a long time, because I know a lot of people want to hear more old school beats as well. So I'm trying to cover every sort of style on the EP, and that's why this is going on there. And also it's a lot yeah, it's pretty serious content on this one, you know.
Okay.
So it's a good note to end on for me, you know.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we do turn it down. And you said that it's boom bap, because am I right in saying like a lot of your earlier stuff was on boom bap beats, things like Coffee and tracks like that?
Yeah, 100%. Like that's how I learned. That's what I grew up on in terms of hip hop, you know. So it's good to come back to it as well.
Because am I right in saying you had like the boom bap stuff, then you had like the grime period with like and then you had like the EP with Wombat and things like that, and then kind of transitioned into this newer sound that you've had for the last couple years where you've been more experimental? Is that like a fair statement of kind of like 3 different phases of you so far, could you say?
Yeah, I reckon like the boom bap stuff is what taught me how to do what I do, and that's kind of how I like cut my teeth, so to speak, you know. And then grime kind of opened my mind to newer school sounds, and then now it's kind of the mix of all the stuff I've learned from both of those. I've created my own style and my own lane that's kind of just whatever I dream up, you know. So
and you made the analogy earlier to flowers, but kind of that constant feeling of growth, that constant feeling of progression.
Yeah, so that's yeah, but always keeping it centered, you know, staying grounded as well. And I think that's like what this track's for as well. It's very raw. Like it's pretty sure there's like no ad libs. It's just all like just straight one vocal and shit. Real raw shit. Yeah.
Okay, man, let's get into it. Bonus track. The outro at the EP.
Yeah, cause once you up, they gon' tear you down for the fuck of it. They think they know me, but homie, they don't know none of it. Too much on my plate to be fussing about what others think. I'm trying to build a home with my family, this the mothership.
Wait. I'm trying to take in lyrics and production at the same time. Wait. My ears are trying to... I had a Kanye vibe from that, with the way you had like that distorted kind of synth coming.
Yeah, that's Jay Orient.
Yeah, cause once you up, they gon' tear you down for the fuck of it. They think they know me, but homie, they don't know none of it. Too much on my plate to be fussing about what others think. I'm trying to build a home with my family, this the mothership.
Sir, I need to pause again. I like also the fact that it didn't come in at the end of a 4 or 8 bar. It kind of just come in the middle, like 2 bars in, and it just started kicking in. It's like I weren't expecting there to be something new added in yet.
Once you up, they gon' tear you down for the fuck of it. They think they know me, but homie, they don't know none of it.
Bar.
Too much on my plate to be fussing about what others think. I'm trying to build a home with my family, this the mothership. And I'm not slowing down so they can kick rocks. You ain't ever gonna see me lose my shit, cause when I'm pissed off, I don't show it, I just show off. Every show I go on, shit up to 11, do my thing and they all go off. And I can feel the love when it's real, but I can tell when it's not. But I know I'll never feel it.
And that's the theme of this EP. It's like the difference between people really being there and really showing love to you versus people who are just there because they want to feed off of you or just be a part of something that they're not organically invested into.
And they all go off, and I can feel the love when it's real, but I can tell when it's not. But I know I'll never feel alone at the top, cause I got my people with me, keeping it 300. These leeches are barely reaching 50, and both put angels on my shoulders, so I keep them with me. They're trying to drag my name through the dirt and the ground, but I'ma grow back into something profound. Ain't no fucking around, and I'ma elevate to my legacy all up in the clouds. I'll show these punters what I'm about. Right now, I feel the pressure. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. You only see the real ones when you're down. Right now, I feel the pressure. Gotta keep my head up, gotta push through the pain before you understand pleasure. Right now, I feel the pressure. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. You only see the real ones when you're down. Right now, I feel the pressure. Gotta keep my head up, gotta push through the pain before you understand pleasure. Right now, I feel the world going bottom up.
So you're openly admitting to having pressure on you. You're openly saying like, yeah, I do hold and carry a lot of pressure with me.
Yeah, and also understanding that like you can't fully understand what it, like a lot of, you know, you ever met someone in life that has been through some fucked shit and gotten through that shit? One thing that I've noticed about everyone that's gotten through some fucked up shit in their life is that they appreciate the little things, because they know what it's like to be at the bottom, so they appreciate every little thing they have. And that's why you got these like, that's why rich kids get like fucking like, you know, that's why the Jenners and like the Kylie whatever, you know what I mean, all them Beverly Hills kids, that's why they're fucked up, because they get everything to start with. They don't know what pain's like, and so they don't know how good pleasure is, you know what I mean? If you're born, you know, flying in private jets and whatever the fuck, like you'll get pissed off at any little thing. But what I'm saying with that hook is like, you got to push through pain before you understand what pleasure is. Because if you've had if you've had 6 shit days in a row, and then you wake up on the next day and it's not so shit, you're going to appreciate that, and you're going to appreciate small things, you know. And I think that's like a key thing in life, is appreciating the small things, or else you get caught up in like all this bullshit going on around us. Like, I wake up in the morning and I appreciate the fact that I'm in a safe place, you know. I got a bed to sleep in, I got food to eat, you know, like, and that shit keeps you grounded, and you know, you don't get caught up on who's talking about what, who's singing who, fucking all that shit, you know. So I think that's like a big theme with this track, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and going back to the thing you said of like people who have really gone through some shit, appreciating small things, like more time than not as well, people who have really been through stuff don't often talk about it, or you know, it's not like they don't have to tell the world about it, you know. People who have small problems in life often shout the loudest about it, you know, versus people who have really gone through shit, as you say, because they appreciate the small things, they have no reason to complain over small things happening to them. I'll never forget in an old school I worked at, this kid was year 4, so he's like what, 8 to 9 years old, right? And I can't remember what led on to the conversation, but something happened, and I was just like, oh, you're quite mature to not like complain about it, or to not make a fuss about that. And he's like, my family moved here from Afghanistan 3 years ago. I seen my uncle get shot in the face. Why would I complain? And for that to come out of like a 9-year-old's mouth, like really hit me. Like I was like, shit, like, raw,
crazy shit.
That's mad. Like, I can't complain. I don't know if it was the weather, I don't know if he fell, I can't remember if he fell over or what. I remember pulling him to a side though and went, oh, good on not making a fuss about that. That was very mature of you. I can't complain. My family moved here from Afghanistan and I seen my uncle get shot in the face. I can't complain about the weather or my elbow getting great, whatever it was. Like think, you know what I mean? And it's just an example of like, rah. Yeah, people who have really seen some shit, or people who have really gone through some stuff, often don't always have to shout about it, and they'll appreciate them smaller things. So yeah, man.
Push through the pain before you understand pleasure. Right now, feel the pressure.
Yeah.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown. You only see the real ones when you're down. Right now, feel the pressure. Gotta keep my head up, gotta push through the pain before you understand pleasure. Right now, I feel the world going bottom up.
Yeah.
I've been trying to build a wall to keep the demons from my soul, so now I got them up.
Right.
Don't know who I gotta trust. What sort of men are we supposed to be when all our leaders do is follow dollars? How they say don't bite the hand that be feeding the weak, but I'ma chew it off at the wrist cause they feed us deceit. Big bang, little bang.
Did you just admit to cannibalism? What's this? Behave.
They be feeding the weak, but I'ma chew it off
Nah,
the
bar,
wrist, cause
bar,
they feed us
honestly.
the seeds. Big bang, little bang, all we need is some peace. The money ain't the destination, I ain't keeping receipts, but I ain't perfect. Nah, I'm just learning that the best servants come from elementary schools and churches. Like, is this really worth it? Say we love Mother Earth and we burn it just to put some numbers up inside our purses. No wonder our ears are burning. Fuck the pro quo, buying shit we can't afford for someone we don't know. Paper ties the rope, next minute you both choke. Wishing for the milli, baby, we sinking our own boat. Right now I feel the pressure. Heavy is the head.
1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute.
Servants come from elementary schools and churches. Like, is this really worth it? Say we love Mother Earth and we burn it just to put some numbers up inside our purses. No wonder our ears are burning. Fuck the pro quo, buying shit we can't afford for someone we don't know. Paper ties the rope, next minute you both choke.
Fuck your empty Birkin bag.
Wishing for the milli, baby, we sinking our own boat. Right now I feel the pressure. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. You only see the real ones when you're down. Right now I feel the pressure. Gotta keep my head up, gotta push through the pain before you understand pleasure. Right now I feel the pressure. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. You only see the real ones when you're down. Right now I feel the pressure. Gotta keep my head up, gotta push through the pain before you understand pleasure.
Round of a fucking applause. Round of applause. Tool Poppy season out right now. Shit. That felt like a good, that felt like a conclusion as well to everything. That did feel like although it's an EP, it felt like it had a beginning, middle and end. Yeah, it had a beginning, middle and end. You know, it had structure to it. It had.
I'm losing y'all.
Oh, can you hear me? You hear me? You hear me? We working?
Yeah, I got you.
I got you. Your video's frozen for us, but I can hear you clear. Oh, there we go. We're working now. We're working.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, no, just saying. It feels like it has a beginning, middle, and end. You know, you have. For me, the beginning is migraines and 1 in a million. The middle is like from baby stop running your mouth to like missed calls and then walk and talk. Yeah, it does feel like it has structure, and it has what I've often talked about before, the roller coaster effect. You've not done 8 tracks of just you just talking a load of shit like the entire time, and although sometimes that can work, you know, difference between being a rapper and an MC to being an artist. You know, as you say, and that artistry shows here because you've got the highs and lows within here. You've got the different subgenres or elements of different genres completely outside of hip hop put into this. You've got elements of rock, elements of jazz, elements of like techno here. You know, you've got different things that all cultivate together, but it still has one identity. You as an artist still have an identity of what you bring to the table. Part of that identity is to expect the unexpected in some ways. I know that sounds like a contradiction. It's like, we know to expect the unexpected, but that's part of what you bring to the table. If you did another EP in the next 6 months and brought it out, I guarantee it would still sound like Nerve, but sound different to the 8 tracks you've got here. Outside of maybe 1 or 2, like 1 in a million isn't far off of Sunday Roast, in my opinion. I mean, they are different, of course they are, but it brings that same kind of vibe. But that's what I'm saying in terms of you have that identity, you have that clear sound that it's easy to identify who you are. If I played a Nerve instrumental, you would know that's Nerve, or you would at least narrow it down to you being in that small group that's there. There's some artists where I could play a generic such and such beat and you could call that an anyone type beat. If someone on YouTube starts making Nerve type beats, I guarantee it's quite different to, you know what I mean, there's not many people you could put alongside that. As opposed to...
Yeah, I don't know what a Nerve type beat would sound like.
All your connections going.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, your connection went, there you go, you're back. You said, don't know what a Nerve type beat sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, I know what my beats sound like, but I don't know if someone could make like a Nerve type beat. I don't know what that would sound like. I remember one time this dude like jumped on my live stream and he's like, yo, I sold like 3 Nerve type beats this week. And I was like, the fuck? What does a Nerve
what does that beat sound like? Like, I don't know what. Yeah, but that's a good thing to have. I have on my wall John Bellion, right? For anyone who don't know who John Bellion is, he's like a pop artist, but he's now he's not even making music at the moment. He's now just producing for literally the likes of Rihanna, Justin Bieber. Like, if you looked at like the UK top 50, at least like 10 of those tracks were produced by him, and they're normally near like the top as well. But it come from when he was making his own music back like 2016 and previous. The reason I fucked with it is because like, one, I'd watch his behind the scenes, like his making of videos, and you would watch him construct the beats, and he would normally 9 times out of 10 start with a drum loop, and he'd build it from there, and he'd make this music that's like pop, hip hop, jazz, fucking like EDM, like everything just slapped into one. And it's like, how the fuck does he do it? And I remember being like, I want to make a song like this, and I literally was like, John Bellion type beat, and I was like, what is a John Bellion type beat? And you listen to things and they're all just a mashup, and it's like no one can recreate the magic that he puts on a track. It's like, it's so different that no one can recreate it. And I think for you to have part of that in terms of what is a Nerve type beat, I think that's a sick thing. There is no one style or lane. Like, I absolutely love 1/4. But if you type in 1/4 type beat, you know it's going to be a drill beat. If you type in HP Boys, love HP Boys, you know it's going to be that poly, tropical, trap, whatever we're naming it, type beat. You know what you're kind of going to get with it. And so for you to be able to just do something so unique and original to yourself, that's sick. Like, do you feel like you're kind of creating your own style of a sound, if that makes sense? Like, could there one day be a Nerve type beat that's consistently, you know what to expect? Or do you think you'll forever be just constantly changing things now and keeping it fresh?
I don't know, like, I think it's one of the things where, like, maybe you could have a Nerve type beat that's reminiscent of one of the phases of my music, you know? But it'll probably change every year, you know what I mean? Like, I look up to artists that are like trailblazers and that bring like new sounds out, you know? Like, I'm not trying to get stuck in any box. I say this every time, you know? Like, I appreciate, especially with like this EP, especially the people are fucking with Baby Stop Running Your Mouth, because that was me taking a big risk, you know? But it makes me feel good because I'm like, yeah, my fans understand, or my listeners understand like where I'm coming from. And if they are willing to like open their ears to different styles because it's like me doing that, then that's all I want, you know? All I want is to be able to express myself as limitlessly as possible and have people understand where I'm coming from, you know? So I feel real blessed that people are fucking with the EP on a whole. And when I ask people what their favorite track is, every time I get a different answer. And that's all I want. You know, I don't want there to be like one standout track. I want every track to be its own universe. And that was my goal from the start. And I think that I'm seeing that now, which is awesome.